Hello and welcome to the Zaxcom Fusion Quickstart Guide. My name is Thomas, and I'm here to show you how to integrate a Fusion for recording over the shoulder with an external analog mixer, an external digital mixer, with a Mix 8, or with a Mix 12. Be ready to pause or rewind this guide at any time. Once you've taken the Fusion out of the box and found a home for it, connect a 12-volt power supply and power it on. We also recommend inserting an NP-style battery. Note that inserting a battery will cause the battery eject pin to pop out. If external power is lost, the Fusion will switch to the battery until external power is restored. If using a Mix 8 or Mix 12, connect the supplied serial cable and a 12-volt power supply and turn on the Mix 12. Connect your microphones and other analog audio sources to the XLR inputs on the side of the Fusion. If using an external analog mixer, connect your mix out left and right into inputs 1 and 2 on the Fusion and your direct outputs to inputs 3 through 8. If using a digital mixer, connect digital sources to the AES input using the appropriate cabling. Let's ensure that you're running the latest software. Press the Menu button to access the main menu. Using the touchscreen, choose About Fusion. Make sure you are running the latest software version. Software updates are available at Zaxcom.com. If your Fusion needs updating, refer to the full-length instructional video. To ensure that we're all on the same page, we're going to start by restoring factory defaults. Press the main menu button. Then, using your touchscreen, press the Setup button. Next, press Memory. And finally, restore factory defaults. It's going to ask you to confirm if you want to do so. Go ahead and press OK. Now we are ready to specify our settings. Let's start with sample rate. Choose your sampling rate in this menu. We chose 48,000 Hz for this video. Press the menu button to return to the setup screen. The next option is sample rate reference. Let's keep this at internal for now. Record channels. Let's set it to 8 tracks for now. Press record channels, then press on the boxes below 9 and 10 to remove the X's. Those tracks are now unassigned and will not be recorded. Later, we'll show you a shortcut to enable and disable record tracks from the home screen. Pre-record time. Set this for 5 seconds. Meters. Let's label our mix track for post. Press Meter Labels. Then select Meter 1. Using the on-screen keyboard that pops up, press backspace to erase the existing characters and then label the mix track. Press Enter to confirm. This Quickstart guide assumes that disc track 1 will be mix left and that disc track 2 will be mix right. Press the menu button 2 times to back out 2 menus and return to the setup menu. Press Clock in the lower left corner to set the correct time and date. Finally, if using a Mix 8 or Mix 12, return to the Setup menu and press Mix 12. Press Mix 12 Support to turn it on and observe the changes in lights on the Mix 12. Restart the Fusion. Disk Mix Routing. Now it's time to confirm our inputs are properly routed to record tracks. Access the disk mix by pressing Menu, then Disk Mix. Press Preset to advance to Preset 3. Press on the empty boxes of the first 2 rows to put black A's, which makes your mix track. As you become more familiar with the Fusion, you can change the configuration of black A's to change your mix track. Press Post Fader on the bottom row to change it to Pre-Fader. Starting on row 3, place a white A connecting input 1 to disc track 3. Continue placing white A's in a diagonal pattern all the way to the lower right. An X connecting slate to any disc track indicates that the slate mic will be routed to that disc track when the slate button is pressed. An X beneath tone indicates that internally generated tone by the Fusion will be sent to that disc track. If using an external digital mixer, press Disc Mix, then advance to Preset 3. Along the bottom, press Analog In to change it to Digital In, and Post Fader to change it to Pre-Fader. Starting in the upper left, place white Ds in a diagonal pattern connecting input 1 to record track 1, input 2 to record track 2, and so forth in a stair-step pattern. If recording using an analog mixer, press Menu, then Disc Mix. Confirm that Preset 1 shows white A's in a diagonal pattern connecting input 1 to record track 1, input 2 to record track 2, and so forth in a stair-step pattern. Output Mix. Press the Menu button and then select Output Mix. This menu routes inputs to outputs, not disc tracks to outputs. Let's recreate the mix track to the Fusion outputs to feed Comtex. To send your mix to the camera 10-pin output, first, press Preset to advance to an empty preset. 3 is good. Make sure Analog In and Post Fader are displayed on the bottom of the screen. Press on the empty boxes across rows 5 and 6 to put black A's. This is recreating our mix track to outputs 5 and 6, which are hardlined to come out the camera 10-pin output. We can also route slate and tone to outputs 5 and 6. Note that outputs 5 and 6 on the D-sub analog output cable are identical to the 10-pin Hirose output. Faders. By default, the Fusion's faders 5, 6, and 7 are unassigned. Let's assign them to their correlating inputs. Press the Menu button, Faders, Fader Assign, and then the Fader Assign toggle to reach Knob Assign 5 through 8. Press the boxes connecting input 5 to knob 5, input 6 to knob 6, and input 7 to knob 7. Remember, leave Fader 8 unassigned as it controls our headphone volume. For the Mix 8 and Mix 12, press Menu and choose Faders. Fader Assign. In the lower left, press Preset until Preset 3 is displayed. This preset deactivates the faders on the front of the Fusion and makes Fader 8 control the headphone volume. Input Configure. Press Menu, then Input Configure. In this menu, we can dial in all of our settings for analog or digital inputs. Choose Analog 1 to specify the appropriate settings for the audio source connected to the analog input 1. For example, mic line level, 48-volt phantom power, and so forth. Turn the limiter on as it is seamless. If possible, speak into the microphone connected to input 1 while adjusting the trim on the touchscreen to set an appropriate level. Press the Menu button to return to the Input Control menu. Repeat these steps for each input. Note, if a Mix 8 or Mix 12 is connected, set the gain using the trim pots on that mixer, as settings made using the touchscreen will not persist. Sanity check. Let's make sure our mix track is fader dependent. Press and hold the Menu key to return to the home screen. Exercise your faders to confirm that they control how much of the corresponding audio is being sent to the mix track. Also, confirm that the pre-fader ISO tracks are not fader dependent.